Welcome to Cooking for Bachelors, Episode 2. Today we're going to have a guest host come on and show us how to make great biscuits and gravy. I'd like to welcome Chef Polkadot.
How you doing this morning, Justin?
Very good.
Alright, this morning we're going to make biscuits and gravy. Simple recipe, one pan, one baking pan. We're going to start with the sausage. Got to make the gravy first. Take our little kitchen shears here. And this is the most time consuming of this because you got to make the gravy itself. It's real simple to do. Takes a little bit of time. Put that on medium heat. Wash the old hands here. And sausage. Break it all down. What we're going to do here to start with today is we want to get this sausage rendered down to it's about halfway done, so there's still some pink left, and then we'll start putting in all the ingredients for the gravy itself. This morning we're using old folks sausage. I'll tell you a little something about your biscuits and gravy. Don't go cheap on it because this meal costs approximately $6 to make. And if you save $1 on the sausage, what are you going to buy for $1?
Right, what's the point?
You know, we're going to... Tennessee Pride's a good one. There you go. Tennessee Pride's a good one. Jimmy Dean, can't go wrong with Jimmy Dean. I don't know what part of the country you're in, you should be able to get Jimmy Dean. Today we're using old folks mild sausage. I usually like to make mine hot, but for some reason...
And that's up to the viewer.
Whatever you like.
And you can always make it a little hotter with some red pepper flakes.
Oh yeah.
Like these right here.
Always something there to do. Gotta remember that I come from Indiana and we make the best biscuits and gravy on the planet. If you don't believe that, try this recipe and you'll know. Yeah, we just stir that up a little bit, let that render down some. I won't be needing these anymore.
Well, I'll tell you what, Polkadot, this is really starting to smell good already. And it's just the sausage. I've had this recipe before. It's excellent.
That's because we use several really good ingredients that a lot of people don't normally use. One of which, condensed milk. If you're going to make milk gravy, you don't use real milk. You use condensed milk. Trust me. Adds a lot of flavor. It's the only way to go. The gravy comes up real nice when you put the flour in. Beautiful thing.
Sounds good to me.
And of course, a little bit of flour. And if you want to know how much flour you're going to put in, you're going to take the condensed milk. It's got 12 ounces of milk in it. You're going to use 1 teaspoon of flour for every 12 ounces of liquid. We're going to put in a little bit more milk later on because we want to get enough. It's going to feed 4 people.
Sounds good.
So we're going to wind up putting about another cup of milk in, so we're going to wind up with just a little bit less than 2 teaspoons of flour. Okay, now we've got our sausage just about a little bit better than halfway done. Took less than 5 minutes to do that.
So what's our next step?
Well, we're going to have to add some of the ingredients. We're going to start making the gravy itself. Okay. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take this little pepper grater here. Got to have a certain amount of pepper, and the pepper's got to go in while there's still grease in the pan. By the way, you can get these at your local grocery store. They got these are really impressive to girls. And they makes you think you know what you're doing.
And it's a lot better than pre-ground pepper.
Absolutely. Got to have it. And we're going to use approximately a half a teaspoon. Once we're all said and done, that's about how much we've got in here. It won't add too much heat, but it'll add a lot of good flavor. And then, of course, as I said, we're going to have the flour going in there.
And you said about 2 teaspoons total?
Just a little under 2 teaspoons. Take that flour and spread it around like that. And by teaspoons, I didn't mean level teaspoons, right, obviously.
Of course.
All right, once you get that,
you start working it in there?
Continue working it right in there just like that Not going to hurt anything. Once the gravy portion goes in there, it'll come out just right. Keep chunking it down like this, making it into smaller and smaller bits. Don't want big chunks of sausage in your gravy. Eventually it'll work down. It's a little bit of work, but it's well worth it. Now we've got the sausage just about done cooking. We're ready. We're going to cut this heat back just a little bit. And we're going to get ready to add our milk. Never find a church key when you want one. That's alright. We're bachelors and we can make do with what we got. And we're going to go ahead and just pour that condensed milk right in there. Now remember, we turn the heat down a little bit because right now we're in the process of making the gravy. You notice we didn't pour off any of the fat. Oh no!
Well, the fat combines with the flour, and that's what thickens the gravy.
That's what makes it the gravy, and that's where the flavor's at.
And you want to lower heat so you don't scorch the milk.
That's true. Although I'll tell you, I've been down south, southern Indiana, of course, when I mean down south, and they make a scorched gravy. If you've ever had scorched biscuits and gravy,
they do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose, and it's different. It tastes different, and it's not bad. I never did quite get the hang of that, though. This one's mine. This one's more like a sweet biscuits and gravy than as opposed to a real hot, tart one or the scorched. All right, good. We're just going to let that sit there. That heat just right. And it's going to take about 20 minutes for that. So, while we're doing that, first thing we're going to do with the biscuits is go ahead and start the oven. However, we got a secret ingredient for the biscuits. For all you bachelors out there, this is your secret ingredient. Pillsbury Grands. They've been making biscuits for 150 years. If you think you can make them better, go right ahead. But we're going to go with the tried and true.
Sounds good to me.